so on Monday, I went back up and I did the full marathon, and that's when I filmed my first video. It was kind of crazy. Like, there were people like watching me and stuff. Like, sometimes somebody would come and like sit down at one of the benches and just be like chilling there, like studying. I don't know, but and they would just see me going past over and over and over and over, and they would kind of be like side-eyeing me, like, what the heck is this guy doing? When I finished, I like went inside for water, and there were a bunch of people there, and they're like, how far did you run? And I was like, I just ran a marathon.
Samuel or Sam?
Sam works it.
Okay. All right. We're not starting, you know. Hello, and welcome back to Hike the Y, a BYU sports podcast. And today we have BYU's newest sports legend, Sam Johnson. Sam has started a challenge where he's been running a marathon around every building in BYU. And for a lot of people, you'd be like, okay, yeah, they started this challenge, they run a building and then stop. Sam's already got 3, and he's planning for more. So I'm super impressed. Sam, you want to introduce yourself, kind of welcome people to the podcast?
Yeah, it's great to be here. I am Sam Johnson. I'm from West Valley City, Utah. I'm majoring in computer science and machine learning, and I'm 21 years old. I'm in my sophomore year of school here, and yeah, I like to run a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Sam. Sam's been getting calls from everyone all over the state, all over the country, trying to get them on their shows. But he chose Hike the Y. So we're super glad for him coming on today. But we're also just super excited to kind of get to know him and get to know BYU sports a little better. All right, so to start this interview off, I actually want to ask a super important question that all the viewers at home need to know. And this is it. Why did you get into unicycling?
Okay, yeah, that's something that maybe some people don't know about me, but yeah, I'm really into unicycling. I've done it for at least 5 or 6 years now. I think I learned during COVID when I was a teenager. So, yeah, I did it kind of on and off before I came to college. But then when I first got here, I lived in the dorms, and I was in the same hallway as a couple other guys who also knew how to unicycle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was kind of a crazy coincidence. So we all got our unicycles, and we would go ride around together and learn how to do tricks and stuff, and we had a really good time with that. And that kind of, I guess, just like kicked me off. It got me learning how to do more tricks and stunts and stuff. And I would ride my unicycle to class every day and stuff like that. So I've made a few videos about it, nothing too crazy, but just for fun.
Yeah, I can't remember where I saw it, but I saw that you had a video a couple years ago where you're like riding down a couple of stairs, and you're like, yes, like I rode down these stairs. And then I saw a video recently where it's like you're riding all the way down the RB stairs. I was like, holy cow, it's like from something small that just RB stairs, well, I'd be scared to go down at the time just on my feet. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I guess it's just the progression I've had. You know, I learned how to ride off of the curb, and then I learned how to ride down maybe like 2 steps and then 3 steps, and it kind of just went from there. And yeah, I got to the point where I could ride my unicycle all the way down the RB stairs.
Have you ever gotten like you get weird looks all the time when you just zoom past on the unicycle, just peace?
Yeah. A lot of people will like film me, like, and they think I don't notice and stuff. It's pretty fun.
That's awesome. As I say, unicycling, maybe you'll convince one of our listeners to get into it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's super fun. I think a lot of people don't learn how to do it because it's kind of a steep learning curve at first. Like, it takes quite a bit of effort just to learn how to ride, you know, in a straight line. But once you learn it, it's so much fun. Like, it's super enjoyable. I love just riding around, just jumping on this stuff. And I've ridden down the mountains before on trails. I've ridden down the Y Trail, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that's insane. Yeah. How was that?
It's pretty tough. It's a really good leg workout. You know, I hike up with my unicycle and then I just ride down. But because there are unicycles that have brakes, I don't have one though, so I have to stop myself only with my leg power, and yeah, it can fry your quads pretty quick. I actually did it a couple days before I ran the Salt Lake Marathon, and I was like super sore when I started the marathon. Like, and even like while I was running, like on the downhills, like I could feel it in my legs really bad. So probably could have been faster if I didn't do that, but
Dang.
it was
Now,
fine.
have you had any like bad crashes on the unicycle?
Nothing like crazy. I did like split my chin open, had to get stitches in December because I was trying to ride on like a concrete barrier, like the kind that they would have like in the middle of a road or something. But it was just on the side of the road. I was riding on it and I fell off and I like face planted on the sidewalk. So yeah, and I've scraped my shins and legs up before too from the pedals, but never broken any
That's all
bones.
worth it.
And yeah, I would say it's worth it.
That's awesome. That's super cool. All right. Now I kind of want to get into what we're all here for, the marathons. What kind of got you into running marathons in the first place?
Yeah, so it's kind of a crazy story actually, because before my mission, I wanted to run a marathon with a couple of my buddies. So it was like this beginning of summer. We all started training for a marathon, and we had done distance running before. Like we had run a few half marathons and longer distances, but never a marathon. We all wanted to do it before we left on our mission, so we were training. Um, and then I ended up getting a concussion just a couple weeks before the marathon. So I
Oh,
was
so a non-running related.
yeah, it was like I fell off my trampoline and landed on
Those
my
are the
head.
worst.
Yeah,
That's rough.
so I stopped training and then I went and attempted the marathon, but I wasn't able to finish. I just went out too fast and then just didn't finish. So I made it like 18 miles or something and then quit. So I left on my mission after that without having finished a marathon, but my two buddies had finished a marathon. So the whole 2 years I was gone, I was just thinking about that, and I was like, man, I've got to run a marathon like as soon as I get back. So when I got back a year and a half ago, I started training like the week I got back, and I was training really hard for like 2 months, and then I got injured again. I got an ankle injury just from overuse and poor running form.
Yeah.
So I had to not do that marathon as well. I wasn't able to train or run at all for like 2 months. So that was pretty discouraging because I really wanted to just get it done. So it took me a little while to get back into running after that, just recovering from my injury and stuff. But then, yeah, so I was signed up for the St. George Marathon
Oh,
um, in October. So I was training for that. That was going to be my first marathon. But then in September, I was doing a long run. And I decided to just do a little extra, and I just ran a marathon distance by myself. So that was my first marathon, kind of.
oh wow.
It was kind of crazy because I started like super late. I started like after 8 p.m. and I didn't finish till like after midnight. And I was just like running around in the streets of Provo.
I
So
feel you on that one. Yeah, I
yeah,
totally get you. So you're the type of person who's like, you'll go out for a 5 mile run and then it'll end up being 12, 13, 14 miles.
yeah, yeah. I mean, usually it just depends on how much time I have, but if I have a lot of time, like I can just run. I'll just run whatever. I don't know, whatever I feel like.
Awesome. Yeah. So how did you get from that to deciding to run all these marathons around BYU? Because running one marathon is great, and like a lot of people can't even do it. But running so many marathons, like I think you ran 3 marathons over the course of 8, 9 days.
Yeah, yeah, 9 days.
So what inspired you to do that?
Well, I guess I've kind of just been building up my running endurance since then, since my first marathon in September. So I ran the St. George Marathon the next month, and then I ran another marathon the month after that. Then I took a couple months off. Well, I didn't take them off. I just did running marathons for a couple months. Then in February, Um, I ran a 50K just like by myself, just on the streets,
Just for fun?
Yeah.
Any like planning coming to that, or just like woke up that morning and you're like,
I had like planned on doing it, but I didn't know what day. Like I had made a route and stuff that I wanted to run. But yeah, I just woke up on a Saturday and I was like, I don't have anything going on today, so I just put my shoes on and went outside and started running. Took me 5 hours, but it was great.
yeah.
It was really good feeling of accomplishment.
So from there, you're like, okay, maybe I can start this challenge where I run around BYU.
Yeah, so I still didn't have that idea. I enjoy running, but I actually do more cycling than running. I enjoy it more. So I didn't have the idea to run the marathons around the buildings until it was like during finals week. I was just studying here in the library with one of my friends, and so I have a goal this year to get 10,000 steps every single day.
Oh,
of the
wow.
year. So sometimes like it'll be like 11 p.m. and I'm like, oh shoot, I don't have all my steps yet, so I need to go on a walk. So that's what happened. Like that night I was here studying and I realized I didn't have my steps yet. And I'm like, okay, I need to go walk for like 20 minutes to get my steps. So I went outside and I was just like walking around all the buildings, and I suddenly just got the idea. I was like, what if I like ran a marathon around the library or something? And I was like thinking about that and I'm like, that's crazy. Like that would really suck. And like, it'd be boring. Like,
Yeah.
I might get like injured from like turning so much, like the stress on my ankles and stuff. But I was like thinking about it. So I know it was just kind of there. Like the idea was just kind of there in my mind. I was like, I could like actually do that. And then, I was busy with finals and stuff for a while. And I had a marathon to run. I ran a Salt Lake Marathon and a bike race or a week after that. So I was just busy with all that stuff. But once that kind of calmed down, um, it was just on a Saturday. It was kind of the same deal. Like I didn't really have anything going on. So I went up to campus and I was like, maybe I'll just run a marathon around one of the buildings today. And I decided I would like make a video out of it. So I started running. Well, so I went up to campus and I didn't really know which building I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I was just walking and I saw the MARB and I was like, oh, the MARB like is pretty flat. So I could just do that. So I ended up running out of time that day. I had to go help out.
Oh, really?
I had to give him a ride to the airport. So I only ran a half marathon that day. But when I ran the half marathon, I was like, I could totally do a full marathon. Like,
Yeah.
this is totally possible. So that was on Saturday. So on Monday, I went back up and I did the full marathon. That's when I filmed my first video. It was kind of crazy. Like there were people like watching me and stuff. Like sometimes somebody would come and like sit down at one of the benches and just be like chilling there, like studying. And they would just see me going past over and over and over and over. And they would kind of be like side-eyeing me, like, what the heck is this guy doing? But I just stayed locked in. The MARB kind of sucked actually. Like it's so small that I had to do 200 laps. And it's just like pretty boring. I was like entertaining myself just by like literally watching the shadows move on the ground every time I went around. I'd be like, okay, the shadow's like 2 inches further than it was last time.
Wow.
And I'm like, another hour and a half, I'll be in the shade instead of running in the sun, stuff like that. So yeah, that one was kind of boring. But when I finished, I like went inside for water and there were a bunch of people there. They were like, how far did you run? And I was like, I just ran a marathon. And they were like so surprised. So that's when I kind of realized like, dang, like people actually think this is kind of cool. So I made my video, and I posted it that night. And the next day it had like 100,000 views on Instagram. And I was so shocked. Like I went the next day to do just like a long bike ride, just to like stretch my legs out. I rode up to my family's house in Salt Lake and back, and it was like 62 miles. I was on the way up and I started like just my phone was like exploding, like I was getting all these followers, and like I got DM'd by the BYU store, and I got DM'd by And Caller, and they're trying to sponsor me. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, this is so crazy. It's just my dumb idea kind of flew up. So of course I had to go back and do it again,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's just where I've been since.
that's awesome. How did your friends and family initially react to the idea if you told them, which maybe you didn't? And then also how have they been reacting since as you've kind of gained followers and popularity?
Yeah, I don't think I'm really told that many people about the idea, maybe like one or two people before I did it, because I wasn't really sure if I was actually going to do it. I just thought it was kind of like a crazy idea. And I was like, oh, maybe like someday, I'll go do that. But, um, but I think like my friends and family weren't super surprised that I did it because I kind of just like to do stuff like that sometimes. Maybe not around a building, but I'll go out and do a long bike ride or long run and stuff. Um, and I'm like really into like maps and stuff, so I like tracking all my runs, and like I've actually run or biked all of the roads in Provo and
Yeah.
Vineyard and most of Orem. So I just have always been like really interested in like looking at all my activities on the map and like seeing where I've gone, seeing where I haven't gone. So I think that might have contributed to it a little bit, where I was like, it would look cool on my map, if I ran 200 laps around the MARB.
Wow. That's insane. And what impresses me as well is that you didn't just like go out for a leader run. This was a pretty like quick marathon. At least one of I might be messing up which one I'm thinking, but you ran one under 3:20. Is that correct? Or
Yeah. So my marathon split on Strava for the MARB was like 3:13, 3:14 or something. For the
pretty quick.
library, it was like 3:18, I think. So yeah, I've been getting faster because my marathon PR like a month ago was like 3:30. And then I ran the Salt Lake Marathon. I got like 3:10. And so yeah, I've been getting faster. It's cool to see.
Yeah, that's insane. So there been any so you've only been doing this for a couple weeks. Has there been
Yeah.
any sort of training that you've decided to do to kind of help you out, or has it kind of been just the same thing and plus a marathon every other day?
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely focusing a lot on these marathons now, but I'm still focused a lot on bike training too. So most of my running miles I get throughout the week have just been doing these marathons around the buildings. And then every day that I'm not running a marathon, I try to go out and bike like 50 miles after work or whatever, just get a lot of volume in. So last week, I only ran one marathon last week.
Only one.
Yeah. I need to
You need to step your
my
game up. Yeah.
But I did maybe about 20 more miles of running on top of that, maybe a little less than 20. But I also rode 280 miles on my bike. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's pretty insane.
yeah, I'm actually training for a couple of bike races right now. So I can't like stop my bike training just because I'm doing this. Yeah.
What are these races that you're training for?
So I'm doing the Lotoja in September, which is 200 miles, and then I'm doing the Salt to Saint Relay like the week after that, also in September, or maybe it's like 2 weeks after. I don't remember, but it's a relay race from Salt Lake to St. George. It's like 400 miles.
That's awesome. Do you have like your relay team all set up? And
Yeah, I'm doing it with my dad and brother and a friend, and then we have some other friends that are gonna do another team as well. So it'll just be for fun.
is it like 100-mile segments, or how do you switch it up?
No, so the Salt Saint is split up into 24 sections, and each of them is like roughly 20 miles long, like 15 to 20 miles. And so it's a team of four, and so everybody will do 6 segments.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Kind of jumping back into the running part of things. What has surprised you the most about this challenge?
Um, I don't know. I've been surprised by the traction it's getting because I didn't think anything of it really when I was doing it or like making a video. Like I've made videos for Instagram before and they didn't really blow up. And so I was like, well, like I'll just make this for fun and like my friends can see it and stuff. But like it's crazy to know that like hundreds of thousands of people have seen the videos of me running and like I was on, they played my video on Sports Nation and
It's awesome.
the Daily Universe. People are contacting me asking if they can run with me. And it's like I don't feel like I'm like super crazy or anything. I don't know, like there's a lot of people that run marathons. There's a lot of people that can run marathons faster than me even. And like um it's just like I guess I just got lucky. I just had like a funny idea and I did it. I got lucky.
Yeah, that's incredible. I can't even imagine uh like all the, for one, effort and stuff that goes into it, and then also the kind of the payoff. I imagine that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been kind of crazy. Like my my mom was talking to me and she's like, I'm surprised like it's getting so many views. Like and she's like, maybe I'm just used to you doing crazy stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, like I didn't think a lot of it either, until it started blowing up and it kind of like brought me back down to earth, I guess. And I realized, not everybody can run a marathon around the building. At least, not everybody's trained for it. I think everybody could if they trained for it, or almost everybody, but people just prioritize different things in their lives, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe I have too much free time.
Who knows? Yeah, you mentioned your mom has been not too surprised by all the crazy things. What are some of the craziest things that you have done?
I've done a lot of like long bike rides by myself. Like I would just go out and ride like 125 miles just on my own. A few weeks ago, it was a couple months ago, I guess. Me and a friend went and biked 160 miles in one day, and it was a super awesome ride. That was like my favorite bike ride of my whole life. Like we started down near like Beaver, Utah, and we rode all the way to Provo, and we had a tailwind the whole time, so we were going super fast, and it was so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you would have had a headwind,
yeah, no,
that would have been rough.
It would have sucked, but yeah, that was really fun. And then I've done a few marathons, just like just spur of the moment. I just decided to like go run by myself and run a marathon. That's what happened to when I did like the 50K. I just decided to go do that and I did it. And yeah, so I think, the people that know me are kind of just used to me doing that stuff, but it's kind of crazy when like people from the outside that don't know me at all like get a peek into my shenanigans, I guess. And they're like, whoa, like that's insane.
Yeah, you mentioned also before how you got so bored running around the MARB.
Yeah.
Would you say it's physically tougher to do these marathons, or kind of mentally tougher, just running around a building over and over?
I think, I don't know. I think I like go fast on them just because I'm bored and I'm trying to push myself to distract myself and also just to get done faster. But yeah, I mean, it can be hard. It's been nice to have more people. Like the second marathon I did, there were a bunch of people there like watching me the whole time. And my sister was there like helping me film and stuff. So that was good. And then the third marathon, one of my friends came and actually ran the whole thing with me. So that made it a lot nicer, I guess. It wasn't so boring. But yeah, I say it's mostly a mental challenge. I think since I do like long bike rides and long runs like this a lot, I'm kind of used to it, and I'm kind of able to just like turn off my brain a little bit, kind of just phase out and just lock in, run. So I guess it could be worse, but yeah, it's definitely, it's weird. Like a marathon seems so much shorter, like the distance when you're doing it in little circles, because you're not like going somewhere, like when you're running in a line, you like see all this stuff and you're like, dang, like I've run past like thousands of buildings and whatever. And it's like, this is a long way, when you're doing it in circles, it just like feels so small and so short, but it still is hard, you know?
Yeah. The interesting thing about watching your videos to me has been you kind of give a banana shout out in every
Yeah.
video. Are you trying to become like the banana guy? 'Cause
um,
I don't know if you know. Do you know who Hans Troyer is?
no.
He's this ultra marathon runner, and he is known for pretty much his bread
Oh.
because he just loves buying cheap bread. And so now whenever he goes runs a race, everyone's yelling at him about bread and throwing bread at him when he finishes. So it's like, oh, that kind of reminds me of you, like with the bananas.
Yeah. I like eating bananas when I run. I think they're not too hard on the stomach and they can replenish your blood sugar pretty well. So, um, that's really good. I just like always do that pretty much like whenever I have a really long run. Um, I think a lot of people were surprised that I would like drink a energy drink while I'm running because I think most people don't do that. But I I'm like a cyclist, I guess by heart. So I'm used to just like eating and drinking literally whatever, like while I'm exercising. So I think I've got to the point where I'm like capable of doing that without getting stomach problems, which is pretty nice. And I think like drinking caffeine just helps me keep my energy up and helps me be able to finish strong. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. I can totally relate to everyone else, like not getting the energy drink thing. I couldn't even imagine going on a long run and trying to chug an energy drink while running. So that's insane.
Yeah, it's funny actually. When I ran the Salt Lake Marathon a few weeks ago, it was like mile 17. There was a guy with a table full of Red Bulls just handing them out, and so I grabbed one. I like drank it really quick, and I sped way up after that. Like I don't know, maybe it's placebo effect or something.
Gives you wings.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I cooked at the end of that marathon. So
Wow.
it was
Hey,
great.
Red Bull shout out.
Yeah.
Anyone? That's awesome. What would you say has been your favorite moment of this challenge so far? And then also, what's been kind of the least favorite moment? 'Cause we've all been there.
um, yeah, I would say like favorite moment is just like seeing people's reactions to it. Like seeing that people appreciate my idea, I guess. That's always really cool to see. And so yeah, I've been getting a ton of like support for it and people want to see more and they're invested in the series. So
Yeah.
that's been pretty cool. Um least favorite moment, um I don't know. It's a good question. I think like I don't enjoy like editing the videos that much. Like I'm fine with running, but actually like making the videos, like it's kind of become a chore, I guess.
So what's the best reaction you've gotten?
Um, I think it's just like kind of the way that most people will be really surprised and they'll be like, I would never do that. Like, why would you do that to yourself? And like, it's just funny to me because like I would honestly like be willing to do this, like just for my Strava, like even if I wasn't making videos about it, like I just enjoy doing it. I think it's funny and like so people are like so shocked. And I'm just like, I don't know, like this is just the stuff I do for fun, I guess. A lot of people don't understand that, but
Huh.
yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, that's super cool. Obviously, you're not gonna be doing the challenge forever. Like you're gonna run out of buildings. Like you're gonna move on.
Yeah.
What do you think? You're gonna remember the most? What's gonna be kind of like the biggest takeaway from the whole experience?
I guess like just remembering like the recognition and like being like kind of low key famous, like people see me running and be like, oh my gosh, it's the marathon guy, you know, like I'll definitely have some good stories, you know, for my kids one day.
Yeah.
Like, you know, being famous at BYU.
Uh,
But
yeah.
I think also like a lesson I've learned from this is just like, um, if I just like have a crazy idea, I should just do it, you know, like, because I have a lot of things I'm like cooking up, a lot of things I'm thinking of, and like, a lot of the time I'm just like, oh, like that's insane. Like there's no way, you know, but this is one time that, you know, I went and I did it and it worked out for me and people thought it was cool. So
Yeah,
I guess it just is motivation for me to continue doing that in the future.
that's awesome. Yeah, see, I mean, you've done 3 marathons so far. I probably should have calculated how many buildings there are at BYU. You got a decent amount left. When are you planning on doing your next one? And do you know what building you're gonna do? Kind of have a plan for all that, or just winging it?
Yeah, I'm planning on doing my next one tomorrow in the afternoon, just after work.
Awesome, and that'd be Wednesday,
Yeah,
May 27th, for all the listeners
yeah,
out there.
yeah. It'll be at 4 p.m. I'll probably start around then. And yeah, I always post on my story a day before I run a marathon, just so people can know because I've had quite a few people reach out to me asking if they can run, if they can come watch me and stuff. So I just want to like leave it open to everybody. You know, anyone's welcome to come run a few laps with me. Just come hang out. Like, so yeah, I always will announce it like the day before. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out which building I'm gonna do. I'm thinking probably the Kimmel Tower, but I'll decide that in a little bit before I post it on my story.
Awesome.
But yeah, there are a lot of buildings at BYU. I mean, I don't know like how deep I want to go with this, but like
Yeah,
if I really want to, like there's all of the individual buildings at like Heritage Halls and Heumann Halls and like there's so much stuff. Like
running around Heritage Halls, Building 6 today.
yeah, yeah. So like I could do this for years. Like there's no end to it. you
Okay,
know?
so it's not like when BYU summer's over, this is over. It's something that can
No,
continue on.
no, yeah, I plan to do it just as long as I'm here, you know. And even if I run all the buildings at BYU, there's other buildings like I can run marathons around,
Yeah,
you know. So I think I'll,
become the building marathon.
yeah, yeah. I think I'll just continue with it because I think it's a great idea and it's been getting attention. So there's no reason to stop, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I saw in your last video, and by the way, if you're listening, you haven't checked out the videos, go to, what was your Instagram?
It's uni.byu.
Yeah, go to that Instagram handle, check out his videos running around. This last one, you were going around a bunch of FSY
Yeah.
people. I was like, oh, that's gonna be interesting. How was that experience?
It was crazy. So it was actually the second marathon, the one where I ran around Wilk, where I was just running and then all of the FSY counselors, they were like doing their training or whatever, and they came out to eat dinner in the like pavilions right outside the Wilk. And I was just running and like a couple of people like recognized me there and like, no way, like that's the marathon guy. And like there were a few people there that I knew as well who had seen it. And so as I kept running past over and over, more and more people like realized what was going on and they started like cheering for me every time I would go past, which was kind of crazy. So it got to the point where there's like this whole crowd of people, like a few hundred people, maybe 300 or 400 people, just like cheering for me every single time I would run past. And it hyped me up a lot. And then like a bunch of guys came and like started running with me for a couple laps and like it was insane. So uh yeah, that was like a really crazy experience. Like I did not expect to get that much attention. And that many people like cheering for me and like it really hyped me up and it actually like made me go too fast because I kind of like crashed later in the marathon. It was a pretty painful end, but it was fun while it lasted. Um so the next week I went back and I ran around the library and the same thing happened. Like all the FSY people in training like came out to eat their dinner outside while I was running. They saw me and they started cheering for me again and running with me and stuff. So that was like, yeah, that was a super crazy experience. And it really hyped me up. It made me realize like how much people enjoy watching it and enjoy like seeing the videos and stuff. And it's really motivated me to do it more.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, I know from experience running cross country in high school, stuff like that. You run past your teammates on the side, they're turning you on, you get an energy boost. Yeah, do you anticipate having more and more people start showing up to your marathons, maybe to run with you, maybe to cheer you on as you kind of gain popularity?
Yeah, I've had quite a few people reach out to me asking if they can run with me, and there are lots of uh, well, there are a few local content creators, like people who make running videos and stuff, who've asked if they can come run with me, and I'm like, yeah, of course, like I'm happy to have anybody come and join me for it. So we might have some other people starting to join me and make videos on it as well, um, and that will just help increase the popularity of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Like just in the first week that I started this, I gained 1,000 followers on Instagram, which was insane because I had like less than 500 before. So I like tripled my follower count basically in a week. And it's crazy because like there's just so many people DMing me and saying like, hey, like, can we run with you? Like, and I expect that to continue, as I gain more and more followers. And I would love to be able to just continue this and make it, a community thing. Just have the BYU marathon running group. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, and I mean, speaking of popularity, you've already got a sponsor. I mean, you ran your last marathon in a white shirt and some pants, which is
Yeah.
maybe more impressive than like, all the other stuff you done. Like, I can't even imagine how was that
Yeah.
experience and like having a sponsor already. How are you feeling about that?
It's pretty cool. It's cool to see that like I can make money off of my idea. I've actually had quite a few people reach out to me for sponsorships and stuff. So I'm just gonna see where that goes. I've had a few like protein bar companies and things like that, and energy drinks, things like that. So
Dream come true.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. I would love to be able to, do this as a full-time job. I think that would be so cool. Like just doing what I love to do and making a living off of it. I think that would be so great. So I'm just gonna continue with it and see where it goes, see how far I can go with it.
Awesome. For people who don't run, for people who don't bike, lots of times we the runner, biker.
Yeah.
Would you, I mean, you have the best of both worlds. Would you say the biking community or the running community is crazier in a way or better? Like, because you see like people are like, oh, crazy bikers.
Yeah.
What do you feel like about the communities?
I think probably the cycling community is crazier just because of the like the amounts of money that gets spent on cycling. Like cycling can be really, really expensive. Like people can pour tens of thousands of dollars into their bike setup and stuff. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, the same thing exists somewhat for the running community too. Like people spend a lot of money on their shoes and on all sorts of gear. But I think cycling definitely takes cake for that. Like people can let it consume their whole lives and stuff.
Yeah. Holy cow. You're right. And then kind of what are your future plans? Like, are you wanting to continue with running, kind of get into maybe ultra marathons, continue on the marathon path? What do you want to do with cycling? I mean, I imagine you got some ideas, seeing as you're a pretty goal oriented person.
Yeah. I so I say that like I like cycling more than running, but I still love running a lot. I love distance running. So yeah, I've always wanted to do ultra marathons. I think it's awesome. I'd love to do 100 milers or even longer distances. I don't think I will really have the time to train for things like that while I'm in college, but I hope to at least do like probably like a 50-mile run this year at some point. I also would love to do an Ironman this year. I'll probably just like do something by myself because the Ironman like official race entries are really
Very expensive. Yeah.
yeah. But and yeah, I'd love to get into longer cycling distances too. I have a goal to do a 250-mile ride on the 4th of July. So coming up actually in like 5 weeks, just for the America 250. I think it'd be
Oh
cool
yeah,
that's
super cool.
miles.
Would that be over the course of several days, or would you break that out in one day?
Yeah, that's
wow. Do you already have like a route kind of planned out?
I'm still working on the logistics of it. So
go down to Wyoming and back.
Yeah, I was
50 miles is
thinking,
a long way. That's impressive.
yeah, I was thinking maybe I can ride from here to Cedar City or vice versa, depending on the wind, weather and stuff. But yeah, I've still got to figure out exactly how I'm going to do that. But that's a goal that I've had for quite a while now. It's new 250-mile ride. Um, I don't know. I really like setting goals for myself because I've been seeing myself like actually complete them, and it's been really like fulfilling, I guess. Like I just have the random goal to like get 10,000 steps a day for a whole year. Like I'm still going strong on that. I'm like 140 something days into it, and it's been hard sometimes. Sometimes like on Saturday, me and my brother did a 125-mile ride. We didn't get back until pretty late. It was like 10:30 p.m. after dark. And then I still had to go get like 8,000 steps. So I had to go run. I had to go run 10K after biking 125 miles. And it was hard, but I did it. And then I was done. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I still feel okay. Like I could look and do more distance, like if I had the time for it, And that is like such an awesome moment because you're like, no way, like I am capable of like crazy stuff,
Yeah.
And I think that's what I really enjoy most about endurance sports is just exploring like my potential, because the human body is capable of like training to endure for like almost any amount of time. And I can run a marathon around the building, but there's people that can run 250 miles without stopping, and it's like that's like so far ahead of where I am right now. But if somebody else can get to that point, I can get to that point too. And it's like there is like no limit to what I can achieve if I just put in the work. And I think that's what motivates me the most, is that I've already achieved a lot of cool things, but like I know that in the future there's like so much more I can reach. So that's what drives me. That's what makes me want to go, and do bike races and do ultra marathons and do an Ironman, ride 250 miles on the 4th of July by myself, because I just want to see like what I'm capable of doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. We're coming to the end here. I don't want to take you too long, but when you're going on these long runs, long rides, what are you popping in your ears? Are you the type of guy who loves to listen to nature? Are you a music guy, audio, or music? Well, yeah, not music. Audiobooks, podcasts. What do you like to listen to?
I definitely listen to music. Most I like to listen to rock. I think it like hypes me up, gives me a lot of rolling. I like all sorts of music though. I just listen to a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, and then you don't have to share, but what would you say is your most kind of embarrassing moment? Like, oh shoot, like either on a run, on a ride, just
like any time.
Really, yeah.
Running or riding. Ooh, that's hard.
It's a tough one, yeah.
Well, okay, there's one that comes to mind that happened pretty recently, so I can share that, I guess. I was up in Idaho just biking on a biking trip, and I was renting a bike, so I wasn't used to the pedals exactly. Well, I guess they were the same type of pedals I already had, but what happened is I replaced the cleats on my shoes, so it's like the clips that clip into my pedals, and the new cleats were like way stiffer and harder to unclip. So I was like riding down the street, and I got a phone call. I like stopped and answered the phone, and I couldn't unclip my shoe. Like I tried, but it didn't come out, and so I just like fell over in the middle of the street, and there were like a bunch of people there, and it was like super embarrassing. And yeah, that sucked. I've done that a few times.
Yeah, I mean, I guess all bikers have had their fair share of crashes.
Yeah. I think it was embarrassing too when I face planted off my unicycle and split my face open. But
were there a lot of people there to see that?
Nobody saw it, but I got on video. I can show you the video.
Oh wow, yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be true. Yeah, awesome. Well, Sam, thank you so much for coming on Hike the Y. This has been an amazing interview. It's been super cool to kind of learn more about you and kind of understand why you're doing this.
Yeah.
And obviously, I wish you the best of luck in all your future pursuits and with the marathoning. And then thank you guys for listening to Hike the Y. Have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you.